Hi, my name is Amy Mazzi, and I'm with Centurion Boats. And today I'm going to talk to you about the all-new 2026 Centurion Fe22. This boat is fearlessly evolved for the 2026 model year. It has additional performance, style, function, and value. But don't take my word for it. Let's check it out together. The biggest difference between the FE series look and the rest of the Centurion line really starts here at the bow. It is a wide bow boat, and it has a sleek, aggressive style to it overall. But the Fe22, even though it's only 22 feet long, it still shares that same aggressive look from the front. And if you're coming at the dock and somebody's not familiar with the FE from Centurion, they're gonna know it's something new and different right off the bat. In fact, if you're coming into the dock at night, you can use these optional docking lights. These things are bright. As we travel down the side of the Fe22, you start to notice that the style extends to the whole profile of the boat, but it starts with the chiseled windshield from Centurion. And the model designator, Fe22, is chiseled into the A-pillar. You've also got style with the customizable gator step that's on the outside, as well as the Centurion badge. This one is blacked out, which looks really cool and just adds to that performance look of this Fe22. The Fe22 has a lot of customizable elements to it. Probably the largest piece you can customize on this boat is the gel coat scheme. And this scheme is a core scheme. You can choose for your hull main front, which is the main panel of color here, you can choose between 37 different gel coat colors. And then for your base color, you can choose between 18 different colors. So you can really make this boat all your own. And if you're going to further customize and add some additional performance to your Fe22, add the Ramfill. Ramfill is one of our signature selling advantages. And what it is a ballast system that fills when you're underway in 90 seconds. And it fills nearly half of this boat's ballast, which is a total of 5,150 pounds from the factory. So you can get going surfing behind this Fe22 in no time flat. As we continue down the profile of the Fe22, we come to more and more function. Yes, function on the outside of the boat right here. You have a number of things that we need to talk about. Number one is the dual fuel fill. This is really important because if your tow vehicle fuels on the opposite side of your boat, you're going through the fuel station twice. That makes things super inconvenient. So instead, we put a fuel fill on both sides. So no matter what side your tow vehicle fuels on, you can pull in once, fill up both, and go. By the way, this particular boat, the Centurion, has a 70-gallon fuel tank, and it also uses fuel very efficiently, especially because it has a 5.3-liter ZZ5 PCM engine in it that just sips the fuel. You will be out on the water for days at a time without having to refuel. But when you do, it's convenient. You also have the option to get bumper cleats for this particular boat. What they are is here. It's a special cleat that allows you to put a bumper directly into the side of your boat. They also have a special storage place in the boat beneath your seats, so they're put away when they need to be, but easily accessible when you're coming into dock. The great thing about this is this rope for the bumper is not tied around your pull-up cleat, which is what you should use to dock line or dock tie to the dock. That's going to give you a lot of room for that pull-up cleat to do what it's designed to do and not take up that additional space or compromise the way your boat is tied to the dock. We've thought of all of these things. And if you continue to the corner of the boat, we've even got a fresh air vent that allows fresh, clean air to get through to the engine to allow it to perform even better, even on a hot, sticky day. And this vent is not only functional, it is beautiful as well. It is chem film dipped. What that means is Roswell, who makes this vent, prepares the surface of the vent so that there's no dirt, there's no film of oil, there's nothing on it that would prevent the paint, the marine grade paint, from sticking to the vent itself and keeping this vent beautiful for the entire life of the boat. We've thought of all of these touches mainly because of the function we want you to enjoy. Even the 22-foot running surface of the Fe22 is an Opti-V Hull, signature Centurion. But what it does for us is a number of things. It allows us to have the world's best waves, wakes, and ride. How does it do that? Well, it starts out as a deep V, and what a deep V gives us is a smooth, rough water ride. A deep V also displaces more water with less ballast weight. Although we have the largest ballast capacities in the industry, and the Fe22 in particular has 5,150 pounds of available ballast in it. That makes a great wave or wake. But in addition to that, a deep V can tend to be tippy, sensitive to weight shift from side to side, which in turn ends up washing out one side of your wake or making a surf wave on one side or the other a little more inconsistent or more difficult to achieve. But with the optimization of the Opti-V Hull, we eliminate all of that. The optimization is truly two triangular pads on the rear corners of the running surface that allow the boat to have balance. Those pads, when the boat is underway, create lift, and they lift each other simultaneously and create that balance so that then you have a symmetrical wakeboard wake. You have an easily achievable world championship wave on either side, goofy or regular. Even with 22 feet of running surface, the Fe22 has an Opti-V hull that creates the world's best waves, wakes, and ride. As we move to the transom of the Fe22, you notice there's a lot going on beneath the swim step at water level. Yeah, that's because that's where a lot of the magic happens. One of the things that's most important about this vantage point is going to be QuickSurf Pro. QuickSurf Pro is two metal tabs on either corner of the Fe22. The tab opposite the surf side goes down, creating lift. That lift displaces water on the surf side corner, which makes your curl. Now, the wave itself is created with the displacement of water created by the as much as 5,150 pounds of ballast the Fe22 offers. But you have to have QuickSurf Pro to change that curl from side to side. And you can do it quickly, in less than 2 seconds, thanks to Lenco actuators, or Lenco rams as we call them. But new for 2026, these rams got smart. They've been schooled. They are now more accurate and more responsive than ever before, thanks to a completely new design that has less mechanics on the inside, less things to break, and more accuracy because of the communication with the CAN bus system that essentially tells our dash exactly where that ram is positioned and exactly where your QuickSurf Pro plate is, so you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's going to produce the wave you're intending for your rider in tow. One of the other main components underneath the swim step of this Fe22, and any Centurion for that matter, is the Stinger wake plate. This particular boat has the silent Stinger wake plate. What this does is it changes the running attitude of the boat. What that gives you is the ability to change the shape of your wave or wake, as well as to change the ride, especially on a rough day on the water. By putting the plate down, you put the nose of the boat down and get the most aggressive part of the V cutting through the chop. By putting the plate up, it allows the back of the boat to sink further into the water and the nose to come up. This will create a taller wave or a steeper wake. You can adjust the shape of both just by changing the position of the stinger wake plate. Now, this is a silent stinger, and what this does is a whole nother thing, and it gives you an additional benefit. This benefit is, as you might imagine, the benefit of silence. It takes down the noise of the engine. It allows the water to be forced inside this plate and tumbled together with the engine exhaust through a series of baffles that takes the engine noise down. So much so that the decibel level at the passenger seat is 75. This is the noise level of a kitchen dishwasher. It's extremely quiet. And you couple that with the functionality of the plate essentially taking hook in and out of the running surface, and you've got a dual-purpose Centurion signature selling advantage that no one else has. In fact, it's patented by Centurion. So if you want to get out and experience the true Centurion difference, take an Fe22 out with that silent stinger and just see how many benefits it provides you and your family. As I step up onto the swim step of the Fe22, I start to understand just how beautiful the back of this boat is, but it's also pretty accommodating. It's got a lot of storage back here, which I'm going to put my shoes away, which I would always encourage everybody in my boat to do from the dock. This way, they never get on the inside of the boat. They never dirty the upholstery or any of my gator step, and especially on my swim step itself. But then I can take a seat and relax. And back here, I've got a choice between a couple different seats. I can change my tunes with my optional transom remote, have a drink or two with my couple cup holders that are back here. I've got an optional rear-facing camera that's here, which I don't want to get in the way of, but when you're driving or you have a rider in tow, it gives you a great vantage point from the dash of that person or whatever might be behind the boat. You also have a great place to lay out if I throw a towel over and just lay across the back sun pad to relax. I've got a lot of options here. All are comfortable, all are accommodating, and all are Centurion. As I walk over the sun pad of the Fe22 and down into the interior, I start to realize, man, this is a big 22-foot boat. It's rated for 13 people, and I could definitely picture 12 of my closest friends and family in this boat with me, still having room for all of our stuff and all of them. It's very accommodating on the inside. It's also very comfortable. The seating has triple density foam in it. It has 3 different densities of foam. On the back side of the vinyl, it has a really cushy foam. Right beneath that, a little more rigidity in the foam, but still gives you a good bounce back. And then at the very bottom of the cushion, there's a very rigid foam. So it gives you a lot of comfort when you're sitting, especially for hours on end, waiting for your turn behind the boat. The cool thing about this is that it is cool touch vinyl. This vinyl is cool to the touch, even though it is a darker color. In fact, this is a new scheme for this year. It's all cool touch. And we have a new color that we're featuring on this interior called Saddle Brown. We've paired it with mocha, and it gives it a high contrast. The welt and the accent are black in this boat, so it's a pretty dark interior, but it still stays cool to the touch. We also have special thread that we use to sew these pieces of vinyl together. It's a Teflon thread. It's extremely strong, and really the thread is even stronger than the vinyl itself. It's also available in 12 different colors, so you can customize this interior, be it vinyl color, thread, or even your flooring color choice. You can customize your gator step, which is the non-skid on the floor. You can make this anything you'd like. This particular scheme is called the Fearless Cut, and it has a lot of pattern cut into it as well as a warrior. It's 2 layers, and the top layer is black. The bottom layer is sandstone, which goes really well with the mocha base on the gel coat of the inside of the Fe22. But this interior is both beautiful, it's resilient, and it's extremely comfortable. The side panels of the Fe22 are beautiful, but they also have a lot going on functionality-wise. They've got 4 cup holders on either side. There's actually an extra cup holder in the small side panel by the OB. And you've got your speakers here, as well as Centurion badging. But the side panel itself is a color-matched, gel-coated fiberglass piece. So it's made very similar to how the boat itself is made, how the hull and deck are made. It's sprayed into a mold, and then it's backed up with fiberglass, and it adds a great color-matched element to the interior of the boat that is gel coat. And this happens to be root beer metal flake, which we love and goes with the tower panels as well as the exterior of this Fe22. The cool thing about this stereo system that's in this boat, it's the Champ stereo system by Wet Sounds, and it has 8 interior speakers. It also has 2 10-inch horns in the tower, as well as a subwoofer that is brand new for this year, the Triple X Sub from Wet Sounds. It has a specially made box that is ported for maximum bass in this particular system. It's mounted beneath the driver's dash, so you can't see it, but you can sure hear it. And you can get a second Triple X Sub from Wet Sounds mounted in the OB storage area if you want even more bass as a part of the Champ stereo system. The Fe22 interior is made for as many as 13 passengers. However, you still want to be able to customize the format of this interior to work with how you and your family and your friends use your Fe22. For that reason, we offer the slide seat as an option in the Fe22. This seat has 3 different positions. It also has limo lighting mounted beneath the track that it's on, so it gives you a great lit feel when you're on the inside of the boat. But it also allows you to customize the seating arrangement. So I can have the rear seat in the U-shaped lounge format that most people use it in. But if I want to move passenger weight more towards the center of the boat, I'll push it to that next stop on the slide seat. And if I want to make a little lounge out of the driver's seat, the observer seat, and the helm area of the boat, I'll push the seat all the way forward. I can also opt for some removable lean backs that can be plugged into 4 different receptacles on this seat, either facing forward or facing back. I could also opt for a table, and this table is color matched to my interior side panels. These side panels are root beer brown metal flake, so that would be really cool looking. It also has custom gator step on it, as well as cup holders built into it, and that table can mount in any one of those 4 receptacles on the slide seat, or it can mount right at the back of the walkover on the transom of the Fe22. It's made to be as versatile as you need it to be when you and your family and friends are using your Fe22. Typically, the only rear-facing seat in the Fe22 is the observer seat, where I am, where I can comfortably face the rider or the action behind the boat. But if you opt for our flip-up stadium seating, either on the port side or the starboard side, or both, you can add 2 more rear-facing vantage points to the interior lounge. And this way, you can configure your seating arrangement how it works best for you and your family. The observer area, or the OB as we call it, in the Fe22 is extremely accommodating. It has a wide seat, so even a couple people could sit here. It has a lean back that encloses a huge storage area that's easily accessible. It also has access to 3 different cup holders. You've got speakers up here, a grab handle, and a glove box that is locking, so you can store any of your valuables in here in case you dock and go to lunch, or you leave the boat in a spot where you're maybe a little worried about somebody getting into your things. This locks. It also has a battery management system in the glove box, and it used to be that we used what we called an isolator switch, and it was located underneath the observer storage. You normally had to dig through all of your gear to get to it, and it was pretty inconvenient to control the switch and switch it from 1 battery to 2. This new management system allows you to truly isolate the batteries easily. So I can turn my house battery on, and that will allow me to run my stereo, my lighting. If we're off in a cove swimming, I can use power just from that battery. And then when I'm ready to go back to the dock, I can turn my engine battery on, and I've got plenty of power to crank the engine and get us back to the dock safely. I never have to worry about both of my batteries dying while I'm using one or attempting to use just one in a cove. I also have access to my PDM breakers in the glove box. This allows me to reset my PDMs in case I'm having a technical issue. A tech can walk you through that process very easily. You also have power points, and you have a non-slip liner on the bottom of this particular glove box. So you've got a place to put those small valuables as well as things that are a little bit more sizable, like a purse or a pocketbook. But this gives you a great safe place to store all of those important valuables, and it looks good doing it. You've got a lit Centurion and a lit Warrior and a billet glove box lid. The OB area is comfortable, and it's accommodating, and it's stylish. The Fe22 comes standard with the DropZone Auto Tower by Roswell. This tower is beautiful. It looks like it was made to go with a boat because it was. You've got everything from the water drop extruded tubing to the custom color matched tower shields. These are in a lovely root beer brown metal flake. And you've got color matched either black or white speakers. This particular stereo system that you see in this tower is called our Champ system, and it's got 10-inch horns, and it sounds amazing. It also leaves a bunch of headroom in case you have some tall passengers in your Fe22. You also have the option to outfit this tower with Bombshell 2.0 racks from Roswell, which are also beautiful to look at and extremely comforting to your surfboards. You have the availability of biminis on this particular tower. This one has a Roswell large bimini on it. You can also get a double XL bimini for this by Roswell, or a so-long bimini, which will cover the entire lounge of the Fe22. You have a lot of functionality built into the tower itself, like hangers for ropes and wetsuits or life jackets, towels that may be wet. You can even hang those off the side of the boat on your Bombshell 2.0 racks. The other thing that this tower has that is very unique and extremely functional are the side toe points. What it has is a pylon head on either side, either top corner of this tower. What those do is help those that are learning to surf get into the wave safely and without too much intimidation. The risk you run by towing a new rider on the center pylon that's at the very top of the DropZone Auto Tower is it can pull them over the top of the wave or need to get them into that curl. That can be pretty intimidating for a new rider. So I would suggest if you're teaching somebody new to surf, use the DropZone Auto Tower side toe points. We've got one on either side, so whether you're goofy or regular, we can get you into the wave with the DropZone Auto Tower. But probably the biggest functionality that's built into the Auto Tower is auto. The fact that I can touch a button and collapse this tower down and bring it back up without having to strain with all of these options on the tower. It's not heavy. It's not cumbersome for me to do. And I can get it into a garage or under a bridge where I have headroom clearance issues. It's very easy. The Roswell DropZone Tower is not only beautiful and functional, it's extremely strong. It is so strong, in fact, that whether you're going down the lake on a really rough day or towing the Fe22 behind your truck, this thing doesn't sway, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't make a noise. The reason for that is a patented cam latch design that Roswell has, where it actually locks the hoop of the tower down onto the bases, making sure that this thing is not going to move unless you want it to. in which case you unlock it, push the button to fold it down, and you are getting into that garage or getting under that bridge on your lake very easily. So it's strong when it needs to be, functional when it needs to be, but otherwise, it's simply a Centurion DropZone tower by Roswell. The driver's seat in the 2026 Fe22 from Centurion is extremely comfortable and functional. It's a swivel seat, so I can swivel around and talk with everybody that's in the lounge, or I can swivel back around to reach some other cool functionality that's within the driver's reach, like the trash chute. I can throw something away from here, or if somebody from the back needs a drink, I can access the in-floor ice chest, throw somebody a soda or a water in the back. Or I can swivel all the way back around to the dash, lock my seat into place, and be ready to head out for our next surf session. Now we've reached the driver's dash. It is here that I control this domain. There is so much control at this seat. It's crazy. One of the new things for 2026 in any of the FEs is the knob ops system. What this allows you to do is to use a knob to navigate almost any stereo function, and you can do it quickly, even without looking. You can advance the song. You can go back to the last song. You can move to a new album or a new artist. You can also use the volume control by twisting the knob quickly. If you're coming back around to pick up a fallen rider, you can turn the stereo down, be able to talk to that rider, understand if they're okay or if they need something different from you, turn the tunes right back up, and then get underway again. It's as easy as that. The other cool thing is there are two surf buttons on the knob ops panel as well, and I can choose my surf wave, either goofy or regular, from here, just with the button press. I don't have to worry about navigating to a certain screen. I don't have to make sure, okay, here's surf left, or pay attention to the screen rather than paying attention to the water in front of me. It's just a quick push. Okay. Yep. Wave changed. We're underway and we're riding. It's as easy as that. But that knob ops is just a little bit of the control that you have at the driver's area. Most of the control comes from the Evo screen. The Evo screen is a panoramic style screen mounted in the dash, but this dash has a pretty low brow, so it doesn't obstruct your view of the water in front of you at all. And it's very easy to navigate. It has a navigation across the top with your home button, and I can go to my surf settings from here, whether QuickSurf is on or off, whether I'm set to surf left or surf right, as well as my center tab position. I can go to my ballast. This shows all of the different ballast areas that I have in my Fe22, which I can have as many as 7. And there's as much as 5,150 pounds of ballast in this boat from the factory. I can control all of that here. And new for 2026, we have something called the Fast Mover Ballast System by Seaflow. What this is a complete new system of pumps that are in all Centurions for 2026, but specifically in this Fe22, I can fill 68% faster. We've gone to a 13.5 gallon per minute pump from Seaflow that is all stainless steel, so it has huge longevity as well as incredible performance. But I can fill all of my ballast, all of the 5,150 pounds, and half of that could be Ramfill, which fills really quick in 90 seconds. But the rest of it is going to fill 68% faster. That is how much time you are going to save getting ready to ride. I can also check out my mapping from here. I can see all of the contours of the lake, all of the coves that I want to go to. You can get a mapping chip for US and Canada, as well as other countries, depending on where you are. I also have stereo control through my screen. So I've got it through knob ops as well as my screen. I can advance songs, I can chase sources, whatever you need to do to keep the tunes playing that you want. I also have control over all of my lighting, whether it be tower, underwater lights, docking lights, my heaters. I have my profiles accessible here from this menu. So all of my rider profiles, which I can have as many as 32, and I can create my own. I can change the existing factory presets that come with the boat, whatever I need to do to make sure this boat rides the way my passengers need it. I've also got quick control of all of my lights on a right side menu, which allow me to toggle on and off interior lights, tower lights very quickly without much more than a glance at the screen. Speaking of not taking my eyes off the water, I've got sport shifters where I can change the running attitude of the boat with the sport shifters on my left, and I can change my set speed with the sport shifters on my right. I also have quick access to a wireless clamping cell phone charger, which means my phone is always just a finger press away. I've got all of this control at the driver's area of the Fe22, and that's just the way I like it. The Fe22 is a walk-through open bow. And yes, it is a 22-foot boat, and it's rated for 13 people. But the walk-through and the open bow are pretty large and accommodating. Let me show you. I can sit in this bow with another person and be relaxed and have everything I need. I've got cup holders, I have power points to charge my phone, I've got a grab handle in case the driver gets a little squirrely. I also have an optional filler bow cushion that makes this whole area into a playpen and even more comfortable. But the best thing about sitting in the bow in a Centurion Fe22 is that it is a smooth place to ride. Thanks to the Opti-V Hull, this bow is not bouncy at all, and it's comfortable as well. Thank you for walking through the all-new 2026 Centurion Fe22 with me today. I hope you realize, even though this is a 22-foot boat, it packs a lot of function, value, and overall surf and wakeboarding performance. But don't take my word for it. Visit your local Centurion Boats dealer and let us prove it to you on the water today.